Alright, Patriot fans, I think it's time for you to start looking for another sport. Stay tuned and I'll explain why. Firstly, let's talk about prophecy for a second. Now, I want you to stay with me because it'll make sense in a second. Most of you guys are probably Patriot fans, so you hate me at this point, so why not just stick around? So, in 1948, Israel became a nation. This was the shock to many, and many people that study the Bible believe that this would be a sign of the end. It would be like birth pains. It would be like a symbol. It would be like something, basically a sign. And a sign that the end was coming. Now, why do I say that? Well, for the first time in 17 years, the Buffalo Bills are making the playoffs. Now, before you click off the video, stay with me. I find that to be an ironic thing because usually for the last 17 years, and excluding the 2 giant Super Bowls, but let's be honest, most teams would love to get to 2 Super Bowls, things have gone pretty well for the Patriots. But now we're looking at a situation where this perfect world that seemed to always fall into place for you isn't doing so. And don't give me this, we lost AFC championships crap, or the division round to the Jets, you little nutcases. But still, my point is, you haven't suffered enough. Don't even start with me. Millennial Patriot fans have nothing to squawk at. They have no tears that need to be dried. They have none of that crap. But they will soon. Now, first things first, let's talk about how these articles are going around the internet and everybody's talking about them, and really Patriot Nation is consoling themselves with the fact that, well, Bob Kraft, the owner of the business, has said, surprise, surprise, there's nothing wrong with my business. Well, my goodness, how could we not trust the guy that wants to make money? I mean, the guy traded for Tebow just to get some jerseys and then they dropped him, and you suckers bought it all up. I mean, there were so many sold jerseys and then they just dropped them. I mean, you guys are the ultimate consumers. So what do? You say, oh, see, it's fake news. Well, my goodness, nothing ever leaks outside of Patriot Place. This is an in-depth study article. But then again, it could be wrong. But there's some evidence behind it. First of all, if there were a divide, I would believe that highly. Why? Well, first of all, it seems like Bill Belichick is basically saying, hey, listen, you want to win without me? You're not going to do it. I'm going to sell the future. He's already talking about how, or he's not talking about it, but he's letting his coaches talk to teams. That doesn't happen often. He's allowing people to get interviewed. People that have worked with the organization for years. I mean, I was recently watching a rerun of Super Bowl, the 2011 one with the Giants. You guys probably blanked that from your mind, but granted, so did I. I don't like the Giants, but I hate the Patriots more. My point is that there was the defensive coordinator. That's interesting. Guy's been there forever. And now they're starting to let him interview with other teams. That seems interesting. It's almost as if he's wiping the slate clean of all of his influence. It's as if it's coming to an end. What else do we have? Jimmy Garoppolo. Now everybody talks about, again, these are things that you've heard before, but let me build a case here. Jimmy Garoppolo. First of all, your coaches are being allowed to be interviewed. You get rid of the 2 backup quarterbacks, including Jimmy Garoppolo. Why is that? He looks like he might actually be one of the guys that isn't just a system quarterback. Guy's pretty good. Guy actually might have some sustainable success as opposed to one decent year. But then again, who knows? But they let him go. What else do we have? Well, again, you got Jacoby Brissett. It's almost as if he's mending ties with the rest of the NFL. What about this trainer stuff? What about the drama there? Belichick is just saying, you can't do that, Brady? The guy, Brady, who wants everybody to call him sir, supposedly? You gotta protect the GOAT. You gotta respect it, man. Yeah, but here's the thing. The supposed GOAT is 40. 40 years old. It's the final nail in the coffin for this argument. Even if none of this is true, your dynasty that rests on the backs, you would argue, of Tom Brady is coming to an end. I predict in the next 3 years, at most, this dynasty won't be back in the playoffs. And even if they are, they will not get to a division game. And what am I actually betting on? I will bet that they will not win a division game. Now, it's pretty high standards, but then again, for this dynasty, that's nothing. I bet they won't even reach it. Now, what will happen with all the fans? It's like I said, it's time to start looking for a new sport. Like I said, try the Celtics. Seem to be a young team. You'll stay in Boston, so people will at least be impressed by that. If you went to the Warriors, that'd be a little too predictable. You'd have to start learning NBA, and it's different than football. You could go back to the Red Sox. I mean, that's usually what most of the New England area looked at before the year 2000. Of course, they stuck around with them too. Winning often keeps people in their seats, but it's all coming to an end, Patriot Nation. And you're going to be mortal like the rest of us. And it's going to be glorious. It's going to be absolutely glorious. You're going to turn to us and expect us to pity you every time you have a 8-8 season, and we're just going to laugh for years as the special treatment goes away, as the news coverage leaves, as you start reminiscing in the good old days. And a quick last prediction before I end this video. Do I think the Pats will have a chance at another Super Bowl? Well, of course I do. Nobody has an easier cakewalk to the Super Bowl than they do. Now, mind you, if Carson Wentz was still in this league, he'd beat Brady in a Super Bowl. I absolutely believe that 100%. Let's see. What else do we have? Well, it's hard to say. I think Drew Brees would be his biggest stumbling block. But again, a couple of strategic calls going his way, and Brady might win another one. Here's the thing, though. This is their last shot. You have about a 2-year window before this dynasty comes crumbling down, and then, again, you'll have to go soul-searching for another sport. So, yeah, I would say you've got 1 or 2 more years in the spotlight, Patriot fans, and then it's time to start your pilgrimage to, again, some other place, because Bill Belichick has sold your future, and he doesn't owe you anything. So, Patriot Nation, I can't even say that seriously. I'm sorry. It's time to start looking for another sport. Don't hate me. I'm just a person. All right, bye.